Railroad to Freedom. We are here today to ensure freedom of all people in the United States of America. We are in critical times and we are being challenged like never before. We are here today to stand together to say, we want freedom. The Supreme Court seat is critical in the course of our pursuit of freedom. Freedom of choice, freedom of protection, and freedom of being. Harriett Tubman led many slaves to freedom using a system of codes, passages, and allies to reach freedom. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his team fought for equality and justice. They worked hard to reach the promised land Dr. King saw in his dream. Lately, our freedoms have been rescinded and our path to this land of promise has been eroded because of racism, unjust legislation, and discriminatory policies. We are here today to make our voices heard and to say we want to be free. The system that maintains the oppression of marginalized groups must be changed. The system that funnels the school-to-prison pipeline must be stopped. The laws that prohibit freedom of choice must be challenged. We want a united and free America. We want an America that has laws based on moral consciousness and humanity. We want Supreme Court justices, federal, state, and local judges, and district attorneys to interpret the law based on morality, protection for humanity, and equitable justice for all. Today, as we navigate this new railroad to freedom, we follow the signs of the social justice stars leading the way. We stomp along singing the songs of injustice. We run the hard gravel roads of racism. We march through the thick marshes of hate. We decipher the systematic codes of inequality. We walk through the vast forest of oppression to get to the land of promise, a land where we all dream to be truly free. This railroad of freedom and justice is traveled by many people. We are weary, we are worn, but we walk on this railroad to freedom with resilient hope. We know that this new modern-day railroad requires a series of actions we must take to get to our own freedom. Through the power of our vote, our voices, and our moral courage, we march on this railroad to freedom with purpose. As we pursue the path to righteous freedom, we want the right to make choices about our own bodies and our own futures. We want to be free of oppressive laws that prohibit our volition. This new railroad to freedom leads us to have the liberty to choose what is best for our own lives. It leads us to freedom to control our present and charter a path to a brighter future. We want to get to this land of promise where our freedom to do what we want to do with our own bodies are supported and protected. We shuffle along this railroad to freedom, freedom from inequities and injustice, freedom from a system that works together to oppress black and brown people. We want to arrive to our destination of freedom from systematic racism. We run on this railroad to freedom. Freedom from the prison pipeline, freedom for redemption, recovery, and restoration. We want to get to this land of promise and be free of mass incarceration and modern-day slavery. We trek hand in hand on this railroad to freedom, seeking for protection, freedom from race-based policies. We want to arrive to the promised land, free of racial bias that permeates the criminal justice system. We journey on this railroad to freedom, hoping for protection, praying for peace, and yearning for quality and equitable educational opportunities. We want to reach the land of promise to get education, justice, reparations, and equality. We endure the long journey, traveling this road to freedom and justice because we want to be truly free. We want to be in the promised land where we have the freedom of choice, freedom of opportunity, and freedom of being. We do not want a Supreme Court justice who is the broken track that will derail our railroad to freedom.